Have the game of the week featuring the Toms of East Raiders in their long-awaited rematch with the Southern Regional Rams. I'm Ken Turp, with me Bob Strangia. We're at Toms of East High School, and as I said, it's a rematch here in the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs because these two teams met the night before Halloween right on this field with the Raiders winning by a score of 7-6. Southern has a 6-2 record, and Toms of East has only the one defeat at the hands of Brick in their 8 ball games. Bob Strangia, how about giving me a little analysis of today's game, and who do you think has a psychological edge in a rematch such as this?
Well, here on the field, Ken, you can feel there's a great intensity level with both teams, but there's a different kind of air on both sides. On the east side, there's an air of confidence because they've beaten this team before. They know they're going to have a day's work cut out for them, but they're here ready to play. On the southern side, they're very quiet, very, very, very intense. Coach Emmert was saying that he felt yesterday's practice was the best he's seen all year. And their kids, it's virtually a senior ball club, and they know what they have to do. They know they have to go out and win today, and they feel very confident that they can. They feel they were outplayed slightly in the last game, but they feel that today's going to be a different story. So we're going to see a very hard-hitting game, and it's going to be a very exciting afternoon.
Bob, Ron Emmert told us a little while ago what he has to do today to win, and of course we talked about the Schiavo Mouthy matchup the last time with Schiavo, the middle linebacker of East, keying on Mouthy, the fullback of Southern. Now, Ronnie's going to have to do something. What's he going to have to do this time to change that?
Well, last time East with Schiavo was able to shut down Mouthy, who's the heart of the inside running attack from Southern Regional. You might see Coach Emmert use Mouthy as more of a decoy. He's got other great backs in McMahon and Zulewski, and Seddon himself is also an excellent runner, and they throw the ball well. So if they get the field position, I would look for Southern to throw the ball on the early downs or to fake Mouthy inside and try and come outside on some kind of option or some kind of sweep outside to try and break that inside key. Then later on, if they are successful at attacking the outside or throwing on the early downs, look for Mouthy later on in the ball game.
Now, the wind is pretty strong here today at the Vincent J. Dvorak III field here at Toms River East. How do you see that? Now, Seddon's got a really strong arm, and I would have to think that the wind won't bother him too much, at least not on the short patterns.
Well, you have a wind that's gusting in excess of 40 knots. It's almost 50 miles an hour. And we have 2 quarterbacks who throw very well. But Seddon is a line drive passer. A lot of coaches would call him a thrower. And he has enough of an arm to power the ball into that stiff wind. Scott, on the other hand, is more of a pure passer in that he gets the ball up there, lays it out there for his receivers. With the wind at his back, Scott's going to be very effective, especially deep. But with the wind in his face, I look for Seddon to be the more effective of the 2 quarterbacks throwing into the wind, and Scott the more effective without the wind.
I was talking to Mike Conlon, assistant coach at Toms River East, when they first came out to warm up today, and he told me the wind actually has saved the field. It's dried it out enough that the running and the cuts shouldn't be a problem on this field today because it did rain an awful lot here in Toms River yesterday.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, they said that the field was a mud bowl, and that the strong winds all night dried it out. Plus, the ground crew was out here early this morning relining the field and patching up the mud spots with truckloads of dirt. You may be able to see them later on with our cameras.
You might see this field, of course, and the end zones are colored today for today's game. To my right, the end zone is in yellow and white, and to my left, it's in blue and white. And that's all to the credit of the grounds crew here at Toms River East High School under the direction of Ron Deem, who they really work hard to keep this field looking well, not only for the players to play well on it, but for the fans for it to look well as they look down on it. Okay, so we might mention we don't know who the 4th-seeded team is in South Jersey Group 4 yet. It's either Vineland or Millville. Now, they have a Thanksgiving Day game. They were going to flip a coin last week to decide it, and Warren Wolf of Brick said no. He said, let's change our schedule and help them out a little bit. Let them decide it on the field. So Vineland and Millville are playing their Thanksgiving Day game today. The winner of that will be the 4th-seeded team. Brick, of course, is seeded number 1. Now, Brick has moved their Thanksgiving Day game up thanks to Toms River North. They are playing the Mariners today. That opens up the first round of the playoffs for the other teams next week, with Brick taking on the Vineland-Millville winner. Toms River East Southern will wait 2 weeks, the regular schedule, for the final game. They'll get either Brick or Vineland or Millville in that championship game. The Red Circle Bank, New Jersey National, along with the other participating sponsors, Blair's Rental Service, Luigi's Deli, and Carolina Furniture. The captains are at the center of the field, Southern on the right and Toms River East on the left. Southern in their traveling white jerseys, gold pants, gold helmets, black numerals. East in their familiar all black shirts and pants, silver helmets. Here comes the whole East squad onto the field. Southern had already been on the field. There you see the Southern Rams huddling up across the way. And there you see the East Raiders joining their coaching staff just in front of us. I'm Ken Turp, with me Bob Strangia. And let's run down the officiating crew for today's ball game, Bob.
All right, the referee for today's game will be Mickey Hart. The umpire will be Chris Bresgard. Head linesman will be Max Sutherland. Field judge is Joe Raslovich. Back judge will be Ken Russell. And the clock operator, Bill Boyle.
I'm familiar with Mickey Hart. He is one excellent official. He's been around a long, long time. He's from Point Pleasant. He had a couple of sons play ball at Point Pleasant Borough High School. And he not only officiates football very well, but he's an excellent basketball and baseball official.
Well, this whole crew, Ken, has refereed games for me when I was coaching, and they've got a reputation for being one of the better officiating teams.
And Joe Ratkowski, of course, used to be the boys basketball coach at Brick Township High School. Then he coached the girls team, and he's been a veteran official in many sports here too. So two of my old friends here refereeing today's game. The starting lineups, as you see Toms River East kneeling for their pregame talk with Coach George Jeck. There you see George Jeck with the hat on the center of the screen with his, now he's got the scarf around his neck, just turning around there and talking to his team.
East has won a toss, Ken, and is elected to receive. Southern Regional has chose to win in the second quarter, so they'd have the wind at their back in the second and last quarters. Southern Regional will be kicking off into the wind, which means East should start the game with good field position and the wind at their back.
East will open with Joe Scott at quarterback. He's number 8. Vinnie Gearity, 24, and Chris Schiavo, 47, are the running backs. And Sal Chirella, number 21, will be the wing back. The tight end for East will be Jay McKelvey. He's number 87. He's the one who had the super defensive game here the night before Halloween from defensive end that really helped East defeat Southern 7-6 in the Class A South matchup. And Bob Valente is a split end for East. He will wear number 36. Now dropping back for East to return this kickoff is Pat Slevin, the quickest back on the East squad. He is to the far side. And Vinnie Gearity, number 24, is to the near side. Kicking off for Southern Regional, John Seddon, number 22, the quarterback of the Rams. Southern going right to left on your screen. The kick is going to go the far side, and no return. The ball goes out of bounds around the 8-yard line, and it depends on where the official's going to mark it, and he's going to bring it back. They're going to kick it over again, Bob?
I think either there'll be a penalty and they'll bring it back to the and penalize them 5 yards, or they're going to spot the ball on a 40. I think
it's a new rule, isn't it, last year, Bob?
It used to be a penalty, but now they bring the ball on a 40-yard line, which is going to give East excellent field position right away.
All right, the offensive center is Chris Schultz for East. The guards are Chuck Seigler, 66, and Jim Martin, 62. Jim Verderosa, 77. Terry Morris, 76, are the tackles for the Raiders. First call of the game goes to Schiavo, and he is the big 220-pound fullback. And Schiavo gets excellent yardage off the left side, Bob.
Nothing fancy. They just came at him with their big back, and Schiavo picked up about 8 yards.
Second and a long 2 for Toms River East. Let's run down that defensive front for the Rams. Ken Giannotti, probably the best defensive end at the shore, at least the best we've seen, will be the left end, number 70. Next to him, Jim Kosicki, a 200-pound tackle, number 74. Ron Hoagland, a much under-publicized player, is the nose guard. He's done a fine job, number 60. Tony Priola, 73, the right tackle, and John Tilton, 80, is the right end for the Rams. The pitch goes to Gearity. Gearity looking for a first down and a good strong run, and he has the first down. Priola, number 73, makes the stop for the Rams.
Just a quick toss to the short sweep, and it was excellent play. Good blocking, and they picked up the first down.
The ball just across midfield to the Southern Regional 48. Those excellent linebackers for Southern, John Maldy on the left side, number 39, and Chris Modulowski, the right linebacker, number 45. Brett Glynn, 46, and Bob Blackwell, 10, are the Ram cornerbacks. Paul McMahon, 48, and John Seddon, 22, are the safeties. Everybody up tight for Southern. The pitch goes to Slevin. Slevin cuts it inside, and Slevin's going to get a good gain on the play, but there is a flag. I think they're pointing at McKelvey, Bob.
I think what you're going to see is a penalty. Seddon had excellent position on that little swing pass, and someone hit him on the back and blocked him. And you're going to see a penalty here against East.
I believe it was against Jay McKelvey, Bob. number 87, the tight end. Replay, Bob.
Here you can watch the replay. There's a fake into the line, a little swing pass coming out of the backfield, and you'll probably see Seddon in the corner of your screen get hit on the back.
So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Raiders. That's going to push the ball way back at the 39-yard line, and it'll be first and very long yardage, 25 to go for Toms River East.
A penalty like that makes about a 30-yard difference, Ken, because they were on their way to another first down. Now they have a long way to go.
Chiarella to the near side. Slevin, the flanker, to the far side. Mix up in the backfield. Schiavo bumps into Scott.
Loose ball.
Fumble. And I believe it's going to be, no, it is Southern ball. I thought maybe they blew the whistle, but number 70, Ken Giannotti, is on the football for the Southern Regional Rams. They have an excellent break here early in the game.
On the exchange, Scout was a little slow hitting the hole. He got hung up, and there were two good hits. The ball jarred loose, and Southern recovered. Big break for Southern.
First and 10 at the Toms River East 36-yard line. John Seddon, 22, is the quarterback. John Mouthy, 39, the fullback, and Chris Modulowski, 45, is the halfback. They line up in a split backfield. They go to Mouthy on the first play, right up the middle. Mouthy gets a couple of yards. The tackle is made by Schiavo, the middle linebacker. And Bob, we talked about that matchup. We're going to see a lot of that today. Schiavo keying on Mouthy.
Ken, from the early defensive alignment, Toms River East, unless somebody was out of position, they gave Mouthy a lot of room right up the middle. They put a lot of confidence in Schiavo being able to play that middle all by himself.
3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 for Southern Regional. Blackwell, split slot formation to the right. Pitch goes to Modulowski. Priol gives him a block, but good pursuit by Chiarella, number 21, stops the play.
Sal Tirella came up very, very quickly. Excellent job on an open field tackle.
3rd down, still 6 or 7 to go, no gain on the play. Priol gave Modulowski a block, Bob, but Chiarella just came up there very quickly and no chance at all to turn the corner. Verderosa comes out for Toms River East. Here's a man in motion, Modulowski. Seddon looking to throw. Now he's getting pressure, and he's going to take the sack. As Pat Slevin putting the blitz on to throw Seddon for the loss back at the 40-yard line.
It's a great play by Seven. That makes Southern Region now has to punt the ball. Before they were in 4-down territory, and on 4th down could have went for it. But I'm sure you'll see them punt here now and try and put East in a hole. Here we have a replay, Ken. And you can see Seddon drops back nicely. He has time, but there's no receiver open. He can't pick up a receiver.
Southern has their first string punter back. He hasn't been in action since the 4th game of the year. It's Chris Edelman, number 24, a junior, to do the punting. He was hurt. Bad snap over Edelman's head. Way back at the 30-yard line. He still doesn't have it. And the East Raiders will take over. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And Bob, the Rams get a break, and now East gets a break.
You know, both teams here, Ken, are very, very nervous in the beginning of the game, and they've made big mistakes like this, but this shows you the intensity level that these two teams are running at. Let's see if East can capitalize now.
Bob, the punting game really hurt Southern the last time they were here. They felt they had their first string punter back, things will be better. However, you can't count on a bad snap, and that really hurt them there. Here's the break for the Raiders. Here comes Chiarella, the wingback, around. He goes right up the middle, tackled by Priol, number 73. Also coming in there was Jim Kosicki, number 74.
Chiarella got a nice block on that slot counter, Ken, and he was able to pick up about 5 yards.
2nd and 5 for the Raiders. Joe Scott goes over to the sideline to talk to Coach George Jeck. Now he comes back in that offensive huddle for the Raiders. If there's anything bad you can say about Joe Scott, it would be maybe he's been inconsistent this year at quarterback, but he is a junior, and this is his first year as a starter. There goes Slevin, and Slevin is stacked up by Paul McMahon, the safety, but not before he picked up a couple of yards, and it'll be about 2 yards to go now on 3rd down.
3rd down, about 2 yards to go for a 1st down.
That's a long 2, Ken. If East doesn't pick it up, you may see East try a field goal because they have the win at the back, and I'm sure they want to get points on the board.
All right, here's a 3rd and 2 play for Toms River East. Southern defense huddling up. They'll bring Chiarella, the wingback, to the right side. Ends are in tight. Chiarella goes in motion. And they give it to Schiavo, and the big fullback has a first down.
Schiavo, 47 on the carry.
And he is tackled by Gesicki, number 74, with help from Modulowski, the linebacker.
These East fans are really fired up.
The winner of this ball game in 2 weeks will play for the South Jersey State Championship. We have an officials timeout called by Mickey Hart. And we have an equipment problem with one of the Rams. And that's Gesicki, the left tackle. Now we're ready to go. Here comes Schultz up over the ball to start the play for the Raiders, the center of the Raider offensive line. Scott, quarterback keep.
He's got him open.
And he's got pressure. He's going to throw on the run. And it's intended for number 36, Valente, the split end. But a lot of pressure by Maldi and Gennady.
Number 21, Sal Chiarella, was open deep in the end zone, but Scott just couldn't get it away from the pressure long enough to set up to deliver the ball that deep, so he had to throw it away.
Ronnie Emmert was giving us some stats before the game, Bob, and I believe Gennady and Tilton lead the team in sacks of the quarterback.
Yeah, he said that they had 4 sacks each, and it was Seddon, who incidentally is the offensive quarterback, who leads the team in interceptions.
All right, McKelvey comes out, so that probably means Adam Glanzman's in there. I'll tell you in a moment. It is Glanzman. On the left side is the tight end, number 86. 2nd and 10. Scott wants to throw. He's going for the whole ball. Wax, he's got it. For Sal Chiarella, touchdown.
I'm sure the East coaches saw that Chiarella had his man beat deep before, and they called another play. Just got Chiarella out there one-on-one. We'll have a replay coming up, and you can see the reverse pivot by Scott. Scott reverse pivots, makes the play fake, throws the ball out there, lofts it out there beautifully for Chiarella, who beats his man deep.
17-yard touchdown pass. Scott to Chiarella, and the Raiders have struck first here in this very important ball game. The extra point attempt will be attempted by Jim Verderosa. The holder is Mark Yatesy. 6-0, Raiders leading the Rams. The kick is up, and it is good. And Tom's East leads Southern Regional 7-0. So the Raiders, Bob, took advantage of the break, whereas Southern could not do that on their first chance after that break. We'll be right back after this. Out of the clock, 5 minutes and 45 seconds left as the Raiders have gotten on the board. They've already equaled their total points they scored against Southern last time in a 7-6 victory at Halloween time. Bob, as I said, the Raiders got the break. They took advantage of it. Southern did not.
No, they didn't. Southern made 2 mistakes. That bad snap was really bad. It's going to be interesting now to see what kind of field position they get if they can come back.
McMahon took that kick on the 9-yard line and gets a good return as he's up to the 34.
McMahon did the carrying.
The tackle is made by Greg Schultz, number 31 on the special teams for the Raiders. 1st and 10, Southern Regional. That front 4 for Toms River East has Verderosa, McKelvey, the ends, Chuck Seigler, and Chris Schultz are the tackles. Verderosa's playing the right side. They go to Modulowski. Modulowski's going to get about 5 yards. Tackled by Tony Infante, number 38, linebacker.
It's important here that Southern Regional doesn't panic. You have a veteran coach in Coach Emmert, and he knows he's got to come and do what he does best, and it was important to see him open up with a straight blast play.
Linebackers for East, left to right. Bob Chevrier, 34. Chris Schiavo, 47. Tony Infante, 38. Mark Yatesy, 7. The 4 linebackers. 2nd down. 6 to go. Modulowski once again. And he drives through that line, stopped by Bob Scott, the safety. Very close to a first down. It'll be 1 yard to go. on third.
Again, we saw a straight power play, Ken. Just saw a lead block in there by Mouthy, and that enabled Jeck to pick up about 4 yards.
That's secondary for East. Sal Chiarella, 21, and Vinnie Gearity, 24. The corners, Joe Scott is the safety man. Seddon hands off to Jeck. He is stopped, no gain. The Raiders hold on that big play.
Yeah, the Raiders changed defensive looks that time at the last minute. They tightened down and put more down linemen in there, and they were able to get penetration and stop Southern from getting that first down.
Excellent head-on charge by the Toms River East Raiders on the right side of their defense. And it'll be 4th down, a loss on the play, 4th and 2. Edelman will try once again. The last time he got the snap over his head. This time he gets a good snap. And he'll get it off the side of his foot. And that's going to go out of bounds. McMahon saved it before it went out of bounds at the Toms River East 49. Now, Bob, we're seeing a punter who hasn't punted in game conditions since early in the season.
That is a big difference between punting in practice and coming into the game. He was in a hurry to get a good kickoff. He was worried and thinking about what happened last time, and his timing was off, and he just shocked the ball off the side of his foot.
Another excellent opportunity for the Toms River East Raiders as they take over at their own 48-yard line. Clock shows 3:11 left in the period. They go to Slevin on the pitch. And he's dumped by Brett Glynn at the line of scrimmage.
45, Chris Patalunas making a tackle.
No gain on the play. Well, I'm going to give him a half a yard. 2nd and a long 9. Bob, there were talk about snow flurries a day, but it looks like right now it's going to hold off. Slevin in motion. Scott throws to Slevin, bounces it to him, and coming up with Seddon to cover on the play. Incomplete pass.
You know, Ken, it looked like East might have been trying to set something up there with that a little lateral out to the, it looks like a pass, it's really a lateral, and then Slevin would take the ball and throw it downfield, but the ball was delivered on a bounce and it never really set up.
Brings up 3rd and 9 for the Raiders. They lead 7-0. Here comes Chiarella to the near side. He's the one that scored a touchdown on the 17-yard pass from Scott. Gearity is to the far side. Jump pass over the middle to tight end McKelvey. He has a first down. Tackled by McMahon and Blackwell. First down for Toms River East at the 38-yard line.
I think we may have seen an audible by East then, Ken. Southern came out with just 2 deep defenders outside on the wide receivers, and everybody else was real close, and East couldn't have called a better play. I think you might have seen Scott audibilize on that.
Adam Glanzman in for McKelvey at tight end for Toms River East. Slevin back into the ballgame. Here's the replay, Bob.
Here you can see that there's a fake into the line. The tight end is open over the middle. There was no middle safety. They were all up close.
So the Raiders moving the football once again after taking that short punt at their own 48-yard line in the East, in the Rams territory at the 38. Fake the draw. Scott throwing to Schiavo, incomplete.
There was great pressure by Giannotti that time from the outside, and Giannotti forced Scott a little deeper than he wanted to go, so he had to hurry to pass, but his receiver was open.
So, 2nd down and 10 for Toms River East. George Jeck sending in a play right in front of us. Still talking to Gearity, and there goes Gearity. Going to join that huddle. Toms River East with a 7-1 record. Their lone defeat was at Brick Township. And Southern Regional comes in with a 6-2 record, losing to Toms River East and Brick Township. Slot to the right. Slot man in motion, Chiarella. Fake to Schiavo. Here comes the rush. Trying to set up the draw. A screen to Schiavo. And there's Giannotti and Tilton, the 2 players who lead the team in sacks for the Rams, getting to Scott.
Yeah, the rush came so fast that time, Ken, that they couldn't even set up the screen. In order to make that screen effective, the line has got to hold at least a couple of seconds.
3rd and 10 for the Raiders. So the Southern defense getting tough here. Zulewski's looking to the far sideline for the defensive call from Tony Sermarini of the Rams. Chiarella's flanked to the near side. Split end to the left. Scott gives to Slevin, right straight up the middle. Slevin threatened to break it, and Seddon brings him down very close to the first down marker.
You know, Ken, East has been throwing the ball quite a bit, and now they come up and ran like that. They seem to be dominating the line of scrimmage, the East offensive line. I'm surprised they don't run the ball more.
Less than a yard for a first down.
Here we have a replay, Ken. You can see the deep handoff and beautiful run. Broke 2 or 3 tackles.
4th and 1 coming up for the Raiders. Clock shows 1 minute left in this first quarter. East 7, Southern nothing. Schiavo gets the call, runs into his own blocker, and I don't think he made it, Bob.
I don't think he made it either. He got hit in the backfield. He broke that tackle, but then he was met at the line of scrimmage by 2 or 3 other Rams.
Glynn was there, McMahon was there, and
it's going to be Southern's
was
ball.
There. Southern holds. They'll take over as the Rams really stacked up the blocker, and Schiavo ran into his own man. So Southern has the football at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Tailback, McMahon. Lost the football. Scott has it for Tom's of East. Joe Scott, the safety, on the football as McMahon was stripped of the ball as he went through the line. He had a hole.
Yeah, McMahon ripped through a big hole, but somebody just grabbed at his arm and he dropped the ball. It's a little cold out there, and it's a little tough to hold that ball.
So Southern should start beginning to feel a little frustrated here in the first quarter, as nothing is seeming to go right now for the Rams.
First down and 10 yards to go.
So the Raiders have a 1st and 10 at the Southern Regional 32-yard line. Slevin in motion. Scott rolling to the left, throws on a run. He hits McKelvey, who's dumped immediately by Brett Glynn.
It was a nice pass for Scott and a very difficult pass for a quarterback to throw. He was rolling left and had to throw with his right hand, which is very difficult, but that ball was really hummed.
Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6 for Tom's of East. That is the end of the first quarter with a score. Tom's of East 7, Southern Regional nothing. The first quarter today came your way. Furniture, Service Fair Hardware, and Carolina Furniture. This is a 2nd and 6. Scott throwing, pump fakes, throws long for the touchdown. Slevin, intercepted by McMahon. He's going to run it back. McMahon is going to get a good run back here to about the 30-yard line. And Bob, it looked like Slevin was open and McMahon really got in there very quickly.
Yeah, Kenny, what a difference the wind makes. Scott had his man open deep, but we said before that Scott would have a little trouble thrown into the wind deep. He puts the ball out there and the wind hangs it up and allows McMahon to come back after he was beaten. He picks the ball up. And I got so excited, I got carried away, Ken. I didn't mean to step on you there. And McMahon makes a great run back, and now Southern's got the ball with the wind at their back.
We're getting some big, exciting plays here in the first part of this ball game. Now the Rams take over. Seddon is rushed. Seddon goes down. Good rush by number 38, who finally got in there for Tom's of East. That's the linebacker. And that would be Tony Infante, 175-pound junior, but good pressure by several black shirts.
Yeah, so far it's early in the game, but the black shirts from the Raiders seem to be dominating the inside of the line.
Bob, you asked one of the coaches what they like to wear, the white shirts or the black, and what they say?
These coaches said the black because it makes it bigger and meaner.
Here comes Brett Glynn to the near side for Southern. Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13. McMahon stacked up in the backfield. Number 56, Chris Schultz, was the first one there, the right tackle, a 6-foot, 190-pound senior. And that's another loss of 2 yards, 3rd and 15.
Talk about those black shirts, Ken. That's the image that's created by the Oakland Raiders. Everybody wants to be mean and wear that black. But once again, we saw that the East line seems to be dominating the Southern offensive line.
All right, Verderosa comes out again as they get another defensive back in there in the passing situation. Seddon sends McMahon in motion, and he gives to Modulowski. Modulowski was met first of all by Schultz, who broke up the play and enabled his teammate to make the stop, Schiavo.
Now, punting with the wind is usually a break, but the way the Southern punting game has been going here, Southern may be in trouble again here unless they can put that punting game together.
4th and 14, dropping back, Slevin and Gearity at the 36-yard line to await the punt by Edelman.
You may see East have a block called here since they've had trouble on the 2 punts previously.
By the way, Brian Skimmons is back at snapping that ball. Earlier in the season, he was out, and now he is back. He is the best snap man on the Southern team. Good snap this time. Edelman gets a nice high kick short to Gearity at the 42, and Gearity tried to cut it back after turning to the left and managed to pick up a 3-yard return.
Both teams are starting to settle down now, Ken, and you're starting to see better hits, crisper blocking, and so on like that. So it's going to be interesting to see now if East can keep its dominance.
Official's timeout as one of the Raiders has to tie his shoe. That's Schultz. If you've just joined us, we had a Tom Zavries touchdown early in the ball game. Joe Scott 17-yard pass to Sal Chiarella, the wingback. That came after Tom Zavries took over near midfield and drove in for the touchdown. Of course, Thanksgiving Day, Southern plays Central Regional. They only have a few days to get ready, but Tom Zavries will have a whole week off, and we will be here next week for the Brick Memorial Tom Zavries Thanksgiving Day game, which will be played on Saturday. Chiarella in motion. Slevin. Slevin is going to pick up 5 yards. Tackle is made by Piero, 73. And getting off the bottom is Modulowski. Who leads this team in tackles for Southern, Bob?
I said that it was Modulowski, the inside linebacker. Ken, we have those stats, and later on in the ball game, maybe we can read them off.
Yeah, Modulowski is the leader, and I believe he said Tilton's up in the top 3 and Gennady. It's going to be second. Call it 6 to go. Brief timeout here. Joe Scott just rejoining his team. Valente is a split end right in front of us. Chiarella goes in motion to the far side. Scott looking towards, he's going to go to Slevin, intercepted. And it's a good thing that Slevin got his hand on the shirt sleeve of Modulowski. He may have gone.
Yes, Modulowski made a great move coming from his inside linebacker spot outside to the flat, cut underneath. You'll be able to see it here on the bottom of the screen. There's the play fake on the draw. And you can see Modulowski cut underneath the receiver.
So he saved a touchdown by making that tackle.
You may see Coach Emmert air it out on first down here and try to take advantage of the turnover.
Rams take over at the Tom Zavries 46. And the ball's going back and forth here. Fake to the fullback, throw over the middle, almost intercepted, intended for Tilton. And the man who got in there was Mark Yatesy, the right outside linebacker.
Seddon delivered the ball kind of low. If the ball was out there a little bit, Tilton could have had big yards. That's the play we saw them run very effectively a couple of weeks ago against Lakewood. It was last week.
Yatesy, 5'8", 150-pound junior on the right side, number 7, broke up that play. The offensive line for Southern, Rob Robinson is the veteran center. Mike Parker is back after breaking his hand earlier in the year. He is the left guard, 54. Gus Acosta, the right guard, 64. Tony Priola, 73, the right tackle, and Blake Keenan, 71, the left tackle. Seddon gets time, and he hits Glynn, and Glynn is dumped by Gearity. Glynn's going to pick up about 8 on the play.
Gearity made a great tackle there in the open field one-on-one. If he misses that tackle, Glynn goes all the way.
You're going to give him 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Ball marked at the Toms River East 38-yard line.
The two teams that run the ball so well, Ken, it looks like the air game is going to be a big part of this game.
Southern lining up in the eye. Bob Ferenga's the flanker to the near side. Tailback, McMahon. McMahon gets a hole. McMahon has a 1st down at the 20-yard line, or 30-yard line, I should say. The tackle is made by Gearity once again, along with Yatesy.
This Southern team, Ken, is a slow starting team. We saw them against Lakewood last week. We saw them earlier in the year. They seem to have their problems. Here we can see a replay. The deep handoff, a nice cutback. Good play.
1st and 10 for the Rams at the East 30-yard line. Stead in the throw. Steps up in the pocket, and he hits his man, but it's dropped. He had his man, but he dropped the football when he was hit by Schiavo, and he's hurt. And I believe it's Glynn, number 46, the injured Ram on the play.
Glynn was fully extended, and that's the time a receiver is most vulnerable. He took a very hard shot. You can see here, Seddon drops back, steps up nicely, hums the ball. Glynn makes a nice grab on it and gets hit right in the chest, and he dropped the pass.
For letterheads, envelopes, posters, flyers, business forms, invitations, and all your printing needs, it's the Office Copy Center Printing Company of Toms River, home of the one-day business card. Call 349-4611. That's 349-4611 for the Office Copy Center Printing Company of Toms River.
Ken, it's the second time we saw Southern Regional throw on 1st down, and both times Seddon's had more time than he had in the entire 1st quarter to throw the ball.
Now we're going to take a break while we have this injury timeout. We'll be right back. A long injury timeout, but Brett Glynn jumped up and just went back to the Ram bench, and he's going to be all right. So the Rams have a 2nd down and 10. The clock says 6 minutes, 47 seconds left in the half. East leading Southern 7-0. Intercepted by Chris Schiavo. And the middle linebacker is knocked out of bounds in front of the Ram bench. And there was no white shirts around there, Bob. What happened?
No, Seddon's got such a strong arm. He has a tendency to deliver the ball very low. He had a receiver out there, but the ball was low. And Schiavo's a big kid. Schiavo just gets that paw up there, and he just pulls it out of the air.
So Toms River East takes over, and this has been one seesaw game, Bob, back and forth.
Just saying, it's only the 2nd quarter, and we've seen a lot of spectacular plays.
Coming up at halftime, we'll be talking to a man that's quietly done a great job this year, Don Reed, the coach of the Mustangs of Brick Memorial, 4-4 this year, and they'll be playing East next week in our game of the week. Here's Schiavo. Schiavo gets a block by number 56, Schultz. Gazicki made the stop for the Rams. Pickup of 3 on a play, 2nd and 7.
Gain was for about 3, 2nd down and 7. Ball at about the
What's
30.
important here is if East can keep the ball, Southern can't take advantage of the wind.
Ends are tight. Wing right, or wing left, Chiarella. Schiavo the fullback. Schiavo falls forward and picks up some good yardage. The tackle was made by Robinson, number 51, and he's just short of the 1st down by about 2 yards.
It's a big play coming up, Kenny, because if East gets that 1st down, they can put together another one. They'll kill a clock in this half, and Southern will be operating in the 2nd half with the wind in its face again.
It's going to be 3rd down and less than 2. So this is a big play for the East offense. And here's a whistle to blow this play dead. It won't count.
I don't see any flags on the field, though, Ken, but there was definitely a whistle before the snap.
There is a flag on the field on the other side of the Ram team. Can't see it from here.
There's a penalty against East, 5 yards.
Yep, it's going to push the ball back. That really hurts. Now you got a 3rd down and 7.
Bringing up about a 3rd and 7 situation.
So Slevin comes in replacing Gearity for East. Clock down to the 5-minute mark of the first half. Chiarella goes in motion. And they give it to the wing coming around. That's Pat Slevin. And the Rams weren't fooled at all. Gennady makes the stop for Southern Regional. Riol there with him. Bob, have you noticed that Gennady's playing right end on defense today, not his usual left end spot?
Yeah, they've moved some people around. I don't know if they're doing it permanently or they're trying to create certain matchups in certain field position.
Well, I remember the last game,
We'll see now Gennady's
East ran to the left away from Gennady.
Now Gennady's back on the left.
Blackwell is back. Yatesy to punt. Blocked. It is blocked. 4 white shirts were in there. I'm not exactly sure who blocked it, but Paul McMahon is on the football, and Southern Regional gets a big opportunity here with 4:15 left in the half.
I don't recall seeing a game with such two good teams like this, but it's been so many big plays in the first half.
Mark Yatesy had replaced Verderosa as the punter, and he got a rude welcome on that one.
You can see the great pressure here by the Rams. If they had picked it up, they might have been able to carry it into the end zone.
So the Rams trying to even this game up before halftime. Modulowski in motion, Seddon rolling, keeping all the way. And he is down inside the 10-yard line. That was definitely a quarterback rollout all the way.
It was. Ken Seddon tucked the ball in, had some great blocking, but unfortunately there's a flag, and I think it's going to come back. It's really going to hurt the Rams.
Yatesy on the stop for East.
The Rams have been unable to sustain the drive because of mistakes.
Replay.
Here you can see when Seddon takes the ball, he tucks it in right away. He's looking to run it, gets some great blocking.
15-yard penalty for flipping is assessed against the Ram offense.
So the Rams lose an excellent play there and a chance to score as they were inside the 10. Now they're pushed back.
15 yards to go for
Ball's marked at the 29. Second down. Long yardage for Southern Regional.
They may turn that play over, Ken, and just run it to the left side. They had such good success with it.
This time Seddon's looking to throw, and he had a man open. Yatesy made the tackle on Glynn, who was running to the far sideline.
Broken up by Yatesy, number 7.
Glynn may still be feeling the effects of that terrific hit a little earlier. When he went to extend himself there, he looked like he was hurting a little bit.
Brings up second and long for Southern Regional. Clock showing 3:27 left in this half. Our Rams line up with Blackwell splitting to the far side. Glenn is a slot back. Split backfield. Seddon setting up quickly. Runs up in the pocket and finally goes down. So the East Raiders put the heat on Seddon. Another loss on the play.
Rams look like they're trying to get all the yardage in one shot. They're in 4-down territory. They had second down. They had 3 downs to pick it up. I'm a little surprised they went for it all at once.
So it brings up third and long. Now this time they bring Glenn to the near side as the flanker. Seddon, screen, McMahon has it. Caught from behind by McKelvey.
Great play by Jay McKelvey. He committed to the rush. He saw the screen set up, and he took off for the screen man right away. If McKelvey wasn't there, it would have been big yards.
That's going to bring up fourth, and the Rams have not had good place kicking this year, so I doubt that we're going to see a field goal attempt. It's going to be a long one. So they've got to go to about the 13-yard line for a first down. So it's fourth down, about 17. Blackwell splits the near side, Glenn in the slot. Seddon's going to throw for it. Pressure's on. Throws to the end zone, Tilton. Incomplete. Gearity was covering on the play. John Seddon trying to hit John Tilton. Those two were our co-players in the game in our last Southern game on Channel 8 2 weeks ago against Lakewood.
And once again, the Rams, Ken, who had a big break there, weren't able to capitalize on it, and they're still behind 7-0. They could have been ahead in the ball game if they capitalized on their breaks.
So the Raiders dodged the bullet that time, and they'll take over 1:49 left in the half. Toms River East leading Southern Regional 7-0, scoring in the first quarter. Slevin gets a hole. Slevin got a first down and run out of bounds at the 44-yard line. McMahon chasing him out.
In high school football, momentum plays a big part of the game. And Southern looks a little flat now that they were unable to put that ball in the end zone after that big break. And East is coming right back. You can see it's a straight power play. And Slevin makes a nice cut, cuts to the sideline, cuts up, and he almost breaks the play.
First down, Raiders. Here comes Chiarella. Chiarella's got a hold. Chiarella looks like he has a first down. Giannotti makes the stop for Southern Regional.
Chiarella, a nice run on that wing-back counter. He got a great trap block, and he cut up there, and he picked up about 9 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be just short, less than a yard for the first down. This gives you a chance to play with us down, Bob. You maybe go for the whole ball. Wax here, where, you got 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
It's a good time to call one, but I'm still wondering about that wind, although it seems to have died down right now.
Well, let's see if they go for the first down or go for the big one. And they're looking for the first down. Gearity's not going to get it. He's going to take a loss. Priolo leads the Ram charge. Giannotti's in there. And Tilton was there. Big loss on the play for Toms River East. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Loss of 4 in the play.
You have to wonder with a big fullback like Schiavo if you're going to go for the first down when you have 2nd and 1.
Slot to the left. And I believe the slot man jumped too soon against East.
Yeah, the slot man rose up and he moved, and it's going to be a penalty, a procedure penalty. But Giannotti came in and delivered a tremendous shot on Scott.
17 seconds left in the half.
And again, that time, Ken, we saw Giannotti coming from the right side. They've been moving Giannotti, I think, to the wide side of the field.
So we have time back in play, clock running, and East is going to have to hurry if they want to get a playoff. I don't think they're going to get it off. 10 seconds, clock running. 5 seconds.
East is content to let the clock run out.
And they don't get it off. That's the end of the half with a score. Toms River East, 7. Southern Regional, nothing. Bob, you want to recap that scoring play?
All right, it was a 17-yard pass play from Scott to South Chirella. And
third quarter today will come your way by our sponsor, New Jersey National Bank, along with the House of Paneling, Richards Motors South, and Carolina Furniture. Southern Regional was the first team to get back to the field to start the second half, followed immediately by the Raiders of Toms River East. Captains at the center of the field right now, talking things over. Schiavo and Chevrier for Toms River East, Priolo and Keenan for Southern Regional. Ken Turp with Bob Strangia. The Rams loosening up across the way. East getting ready to go into their huddle here to start the second half. George Jeck talking it up as the Raiders have a 7-0 lead here at Toms River East High School.
The Raiders were able to jump out to that 7-0 lead when they capitalized on a turnover on the Southern Regional 30-yard line. Southern, on the other hand, has had 2 big breaks in the ball game and has been unable to put the ball in the end zone.
Bob, looking at other games today, St. John Vianney has their hands full. They got to take on that Pope Paul, the 6th team of Haddonfield, and they actually gave up a score last week. They gave up an early field goal to Gloucester Catholic and then shut them down and won by another big score. They got up 3 points in 8 games.
They must be awesome, Ken. They have yet to give up a touchdown on the ground or in the air, and they've been averaging about 40 points a game.
St. John Vianney has a nice club, but I think they're going to have their hands full trying to score on that Haddonfield team. They've beaten Pennsauken and Camden by scores of 40-0, and that's really an impressive team down there in the South Jersey area.
Ken, we learned something at halftime that we didn't know in the first half, that John Mouthy, the great fullback from Southern Regional High School, hurt his shoulder on a second play, and that he didn't carry the ball the whole first half because of that. He's also a starting inside linebacker for them, and if he doesn't play the second half, that's going to be trouble.
Here's Al Gerber's kickoff for East, and that's going to send the Rams back to the 2-yard line. McMahon has trouble picking it up, and he's going to be tackled at the 5. Number 32, Bruce Russell, on the tackle for Toms over East, and the Raiders are really fired up, as are the fans.
Can't let that kickoff bounce back there. You've got 2 people back there deep, and they've got to catch that ball. I think they thought maybe that the ball would carry into the end zone. They let it drop, but it just didn't. It stopped dead there. Now Southern is operating into the wind from inside their own 5-yard line.
So the Rams are really going to have their work cut out for them here. McMahon across the 5 to about the 6-yard line, gang tackling by Toms River East. McKelvey in there off the bottom of the stack. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Ken, I don't see Mouthy in there.
No, they got McMahon in there, so Mouthy apparently really is seriously hurt here.
That's got to hurt because he's a great blocker, a great ball carrier, and he's one of the leading tacklers.
Again, McMahon, the ball carrier, and nowhere to go. Closing the hole was Infante, number 38, and Yatesy, number 7.
Southern's got to get out of the hole here because they're going to have to punt into a very stiff wind.
I'll tell you, the Raiders are sky high to start this second half. And that kickoff didn't do anything to hurt their enthusiasm by Gerber, as Gerber got that long kick to start things off here, putting Southern in the hole.
Emmerich, with his running attack somewhat slowed up without Mouthy, may have to gamble here and put the ball up in the air early in this third quarter.
7-0, East leading Southern on a first quarter touchdown, 17-yard pass. Junior quarterback Joe Scott to senior wingback Sal Chiarella. The extra point was made by Verderosa on the kick, and that's all the scoring in this ball game. Both teams alternating in the second quarter, giving the ball back and forth. Here goes McMahon on a 3rd straight carry, and he's not going to get the first down.
Southern will have to punt from inside their own 15-yard line.
Schultz made the first hit for Toms River East. 4th and a little over a yard.
He's going to wind up with the ball, Ken, probably around a Southern 40-yard line, or even in closer than that. And that's going to be a big break early in the game.
Slevin and Gearity back for East. Edelman standing on his goal line.
Again, a lot of pressure on Edelman, who hasn't kicked regularly in several games.
Gets a good snap, and he gets it off. Gearity, and it bounces right by Gearity to midfield. He picks up at a 49, and he is trapped and hit. Goes down at the Southern Regional 48, 3-yard return.
There was one Southern defender on that side of the field, and one of the Raiders had excellent position to block on him, but he held off on the block because he was afraid of the clip, which would have put him even more downfield. They still wind up at midfield, though, and we'll see how fired up they are now on offense.
Takes over at about the 47-yard line of Southern.
Jay McKelvey, the tight end, to the left side. Verderosa is the offensive tackle on the left side as they go strong to the left with their best blockers. And Slevin runs to the left, then turns it inside. Robinson, the offensive center, is getting a chance to play defense once again this week. Makes the stop, number 51, 6'2", 195-pound senior for Southern.
In the first half, it looked like Schiavo could break in there on a quick hitters and burst through into the Southern secondary. I wonder if we're going to see East come back to that in the second half.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 for Toms River East.
It looked like they were running right at Mouthy's spot that time, Ken.
again, they send Verderosa to the left side. They've got the strong blockers to the left. A fake to the left, and Scott rolls the bootleg to the right. And Scott tripped as he tried to cut it inside. Seddon comes up to make the stop for Southern Regional.
It was a nice fake by Scott, and he had a nice block by Jim Martin, and he was able to cut up field. If he got one more move, past one more man, he could have had a big gainer.
Third and a long 2 for Toms River East, maybe 3 yards to go here. Ball's at the Southern Regional 41. They continue to send Verderosa McKelvey to the left side on that blocking front for Toms River East. Chiarella in motion to the left. And they come across the right on the cross block
we talked
by
about
Schiavo. And Schiavo is finally tackled by Glynn, but not before he gets a first down at the Southern Regional 27-yard line.
That's what I talked about earlier, Ken. I said that they were able to get Schiavo through the line quicker by himself than they were able to run a power play, and that time he broke the big play. Here we have a replay, Ken. You can see Schiavo's up, he's a lead back. He takes a step like he's going one way, cuts back on a misdirection, and he breaks past a couple of tacklers and rips off a 20-yard gain.
Glynn, the transfer from Metuchen, who came to Southern last year, makes the stop for the Rams. Schiavo, once again, he's got blocking, and Schiavo drives that ball all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Schiavo that time, behind lead blocking, was able to pick up about 8 more yards.
Good strong run, excellent lead blocks by the East Raiders. 2nd and 2.
Schiavo at 6'2", 220 pounds. When he gets some momentum, he's tough to bring down.
East on the move, leading 7-0 here in the 3rd period. Wing right. Schiavo once again, and Schiavo is down very close to the 15-yard line. They're going to say his knee hit. Now they are going to mark it at the 15. It is a first down, Bob. I thought maybe they're going to mark his progress backwards, but it wasn't.
And again, this 3rd quarter, as in the 1st quarter, the Raiders' offensive line is completely dominating Southerners.
So East has come out for this 3rd quarter really charged up. Now they got Verderosa on the right side with a tight end. And Gearity goes to the right. He's tripped up by Blackwell, and then Robinson comes in. Gearity down to about the 13-yard line. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Notice, Bob, how they're flip-flopping that strong side there, and always you'll see Verderosa going with a tight end, either one side or the other.
Yeah, so you also had a pulling lineman that time, but there was penetration by the Southern defensive line, and the pulling man never got out there to get in front of Gearity, or Gearity could have had probably bigger yards. He's got him open.
Chiarella, and Scott got rid of that very quickly. Gennady was in there putting the pressure on. Chiarella never even turned around. He was still running his route.
Chiarella just ran a fly pattern to the flag, and the ball was thrown behind him.
McMahon covered on the play for Southern. 3rd and 8.
The fans are screaming for them, the Toms River East coaches, to give the ball to Chris Schiavo and let Schiavo power it in. But on 3rd and 8 down here, it gets tough to get those kind of yards.
All right, here they come. Seigler, Verderosa, McKelvey line up on the right side. Jump pass, no. Scott couldn't find a man open. He's going to run it, and he is trapped. And a big loss on the play.
John Tilton.
Tilton and Gennady both in there. Robinson was there. Viola was there. And the Rams come up with a big defensive play.
Scott made the play fake and looked for the pop pass, and it wasn't there, so he wisely, rather than risk the interception, took the ball down and looked like he might have room to the outside, but there was great pressure on the outside by John Tilton, and he wasn't able to get there. Here you can see the replay. He makes the play fake, looks for the pop pass. It's not there. He rolls outside. Looks like he has room. Now he's in trouble. Swarmed over by Gennady and Tilton.
We're going to see a field goal attempt as Jim Verderosa is changing shoes. There you see Verderosa putting the kicking shoe on.
With the wind at his back, Ken, that distance is definitely within Verderosa's range. The thing also here, this is an important field goal because it would mean Southern would need 2 scores to win a ball game.
He's marking the tee at the 33, so it's a 43-yard field goal attempt coming up by Tom Zariz. Let's see if they go with a kick or fake it.
I think you're going to see him go with it because it's about 20 yards for the first down. And the field goal here, like I said, if they make it, gives them a 10-0 lead, which would mean Southern needs 2 scores to get back in the ball game.
Well, we got a change now. Verderosa's coming off of the tee, throws it on the sideline. George Jeck went on the field, and with him went quarterback Joe Scott. Verderosa came out through the tee to the sideline. Now he's putting his regular shoe back on. So apparently George Jeck changed his mind, called timeout, and there you see George on the left of the screen there. Chiarella with his back to the camera, number 21. McKelvey next to him, 87, as they've changed tactics here.
Well, I can't blame Coach Jeck. It's a 45-yard field goal, which would be a great shot for a high school kid. And I think he'd rather take a chance on one big play and get the score.
They're about ready to go. Mickey Hart signaling, let's get going here. And George Jeck still talking in that huddle now. He's leaving as Hart goes over and tells him timeout's over. Now here comes another substitution for Jay McKelvey. Number 16, Steve DeMezza, a junior, reports in.
We may see a little razzle-dazzle here, Ken.
It's going to be interesting what they finally come up with here. 4th and about 20. They line up in a split backfield, wing left, wing in motion. That's DeMezza, just went in the ball game. Scott
He's running.
looking to throw in the end zone. Chiarella, and broken up by Brett Glynn.
That was pretty much the same play they tried for Chiarella before, but instead of him running to the flag, he started out to the flag, and then he cut back up into the seam. He was open, but the ball was a little bit behind him.
So Southern came up with a big play on defense, throwing Scott for the loss after he faked the jump pass and putting the pressure on. Now they take over on downs.
Southern's got to get something going here, Kenny. They've got to get themselves downfield.
They're on their own 24-yard line. And it's going to be McMahon. Now Bob with Mouthy out and McMahon in there. Most of the time I think we're going to see Southern come out in an I formation because usually when McMahon's in there he lines up as a tailback.
Well, I noticed before that when McMahon came in there that Mazulowski had to do some talking with McMahon on some of the formations. So I think you may see Southern give up on the window dressing, the various formations, and run a straight attack.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 for Southern Regional. Now they go into a split backfield. Fake it to Modulowski. Seddon on a quarterback keep. First down for John Seddon. He's run out of bounds by Al Chevrier, the outside linebacker.
I think that might have been an option for Seddon, Ken. He rose up and he was looking to throw, and then he pulled the ball down. He saw he had the corner and he just took off for it.
1st and 10 for Southern Regional. They'll mark the ball at the 35-yard line. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Clock stopped with Seddon going out of bounds. 3rd period.
This is a veteran Southern ball club. Even with Mouthy out, they still have a lot of talent on that field.
Blackwell, the split end, comes to the near side, on a hash mark. McMahon in motion. Fake again to Modulowski.
He's got him out there.
Man up. Tilton cannot hold on. Tilton juggles the ball for about 5 yards and finally lost the handle.
I really thought Tilton was going to be able to tuck that one in, Kenny, and he would have went all the way. He had the step on a play fake, and we saw Tilton make some great grabs this season. I thought he was going to take that one in.
He got behind safety man Joe Scott. Here's the replay.
You can watch Seddon make the play fake, and everybody was looking for him to throw short. He pump faked and delivered it out there, and Tilton bobbles it, and at the last minute, he dropped it.
So Southern Regional, missing the attempt there to go long, has a 2nd and 10. Blackwell splits to the near side.
He's got a blitz on.
Gives a draw, fumble, and recovered by Modulowski. It was the draw play. Modulowski fumbled the ball.
The Raiders rushed 8 men that time, and the draw play was a good call if it had broken past the blitz, but the Raiders were all over the ball carrier.
Loss of 3. And in the ball game for Tom Zariz comes Bruce Russell, number 32, and he replaces McKelvey as they send an extra back in the passing situation. 3rd and 13 for Rams. Setting the throw, runs up in the pocket. He's going to keep it, and he'll go out of bounds, leaving about 8 yards to go on 4th down. Schiavo chased them out.
It's important for a quarterback to know what you need for that 1st down. I think Seddon made a mistake that time. He looked up and he saw the front marker and thought it was the 1st down marker. He should have took his chance and threw the ball rather than just try and take those 5 yards and bring up the 4th down situation.
So Edelman will get the call once again as Slevin and Gearity drop back for the Raiders. Edelman standing on his 25-yard line. He's getting a good snap once again. High kick, going to go to the far sideline. Out of bounds around the 35-yard line. We'll be right back. Here's a shot of the scoreboard to our left, showing 3 minutes and 34 seconds left in the 3rd period. Raiders taking over as they held on downs. They have the ball at their own 40-yard line. And it's Slevin right straight up the middle. Piero gets a hold of him low, and Giannotti comes up high. Blackwell also up there to make the stop. Pickup of 4, 2nd and 6.
Slevin picked up a lot of that on his own, Ken.
Another Ram hurt on a play, and Ronnie Emmert very quickly onto that field, along with Dave D'Eugenio. They've already lost Malvey, a key performer. And it's number 45, the other outstanding linebacker, Modulowski. With Malvey out, you can't afford to lose him.
That's his starting backfield, and he's starting inside linebacker.
Chris Modulowski, the outstanding junior right linebacker, is injured on the play. This would really be a blow for Southern Regional if they lose him. That's why you saw Ronnie Emmert come on that field so quickly.
Well, I had a feeling it was him, but I didn't want to say it. When I saw Emmert come up flying off the sideline, I figured that had to be him or Seddon, and since it was an inside play, I was afraid to see if I'd see that number 45. I hope he's all right. What a blow that's going to be to Southern to lose their starting backfield and their starting inside linebackers. I think if Modulowski goes out, Ken, you'll just see East keep the ball and run it right up the gut for the rest of the game.
Well, he's going to try to get up. He's moving, so he's sitting up right now.
But he's holding a leg, and it's not the kind of thing where he's had the wind knocked out of him. I hope he's not hurt very seriously, but he's holding a leg, and it may be a knee injury.
You see Ken Giannotti, the Ram number 70, with his back to the camera.
Giannotti is a premier defensive player, Ken. He's been a star for the Rams all year long. He's been our outstanding player of the week on one game, and as a kid with a lot of heart.
Let's see how Modulowski goes off this field. He's favoring that left leg. We might not see him back in this game. So the Rams starting to hurt here with losing Malvey in the 1st quarter and now losing Modulowski in the 3rd quarter.
And the first meeting between these two teams was a very, very physical game, and this one doesn't seem to be any different.
Now Robinson came in to replace Malvey. He has had some previous experience playing on defense. He's the offensive center. He's playing in Malvey's left linebacker position. Slevin. We thought the ball was squirting loose, and it was a shoe, apparently, Bob.
Somebody's, I think it was an elbow pad, Ken, but I thought the ball went flying about 10 yards.
That's what it is. Somebody, forearm or elbow pad went flying. 3rd down and 2.
But right away, we saw Reese come right at those linebacker spots and pick up about 4 or 5 yards.
Let's see if we can get the number of Modulowski's replacement in there playing that right linebacker. Well, looks like 67?
67 and 51 are the 2 replacements.
Here's the 3rd down play. Schiavo gets a 1st down and more. All the way down to the Southern Regional 39-yard line.
Right at Malvey's linebacker spot, Ken.
67 is Rich Knudsen, a sophomore, Bob.
And 51 was the other one, Ken.
And that's Robinson, who I mentioned earlier, 51, playing Malvey's position. Weiss didn't waste any time running it.
No, they were first one at Modulowski's linebacker spot, then came right back at Malvey's, and I think you're going to see them stay there for the rest of the game.
Here come the Raiders, 1st and 10. I formation for East. Chiarella, the wingback. Chiarella, good hard run. Chiarella very close to another 1st down.
Yeah, if Seddon didn't hit him then, Ken, from his safety spot, Chiarella would have broke that.
Tilton finally made the stop.
That was the
just short of a 1st down.
That was the wingback counter, and again, they're attacking that middle.
2nd and a yard to go for East.
You might see East air the ball out here, Kenny, because Southern has been forced, because of the gaping holes, to bring their defense up a little tighter, and you might see a play-action pass here on 2nd and 1.
Blake Keenan just reported in for Southern at right tackle, number 71. Priolo's moved over to the left side. Chiarella in motion. And we have a new man in there, number 44, for Toms River East, Glenn Clark. 5'4", 155-pound senior, Glenn Clark.
And again, East attacks the bubble of the Southern Regional defense, and they picked up about 12 yards right up the middle.
McMahon, the safety, makes the tackle for Southern Regional. 1st and 10 Raiders at the 19-yard line. We saw a lot of Clark and Russell last week when East substituted very frequently against Central Regional, and those two got a chance to run the ball.
And they're excellent runners too, Ken. Schiavo's back in there.
Scott pitches to Gearity. Gearity looking for a hole. And McMahon comes up to make this hit on Gearity.
Gearity looked like he wanted to start the sweep outside and cut back up, but the inside was plugged, so he cut back outside, and he picked up about 4 yards.
Blake Keenan helps out on the tackle for Southern Regional. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. 19 seconds, clock running, 3rd period.
Big thing about this, Ken, is Southern Regionals only had the ball 1 possession in this whole 3rd quarter.
We're under 10 seconds now, and I don't think East is going to get this play off. 5 seconds. And that's the end of the quarter right there. So that's it, the end of the 3rd period. Toms River East 7, Southern Regional nothing. The 3rd quarter today came your way by the New Jersey National Bank, along with Carolina Furniture, Richards Motors South, and the House of Paneling. We'll be right back in a moment. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a little bit surprised at the
quarter of today's state playoff game, along with Marita's Skiers Place, Dunkin' Donuts of Bayville, and Carolina Furniture. Toms River East is on the move. They lead 7-0. This is a 2nd down and 7 play. It's going to be Slevin, and Slevin, after he's hit, dives forward. On the tackles, Robinson and Gennady.
It's going to be interesting here to see if Southern switches out of its 54 defense and goes into a goal line defense a little bit earlier, anticipating a run.
3rd and 4 for Toms River East. George Jeck yelling to Scott.
Yeah, the ball's about
Give him the play.
Ball's about on the 8-yard line, Ken.
Here comes the Raiders up to the line of scrimmage. Chiarella is flanked to the far side. Split backfield. Scott gives to Schiavo. Schiavo is down to the 7. I should say inside the 5 to the 3.
No, Ken, that's the 7. I made the same
reading it
mistake.
right? Okay.
I made the same mistake before.
We got those double lines.
Yeah, I think it's a 1st down, Ken.
They're looking to that yard marker, and they may have to measure. Now the official says about a foot short. And Joe Scott relays the signal over to Coach George Jeck. They need a foot. The East fans all yelling here, go.
I'll tell you, with the backs that they have and with the Southern people hurt, I'd go for it.
Timeout. Toms River East.
It's a wise timeout on the part of Coach Jeck. It's a big play in the ball game, and he wants to take the timeout to talk to his kids and talk it over with his coaches.
We have 200 quarterbacks up here in the stands calling the play.
But the season doesn't rest on their shoulders. It rests on Coach Jeck's shoulders.
Yeah, they don't get their names in the paper if things go wrong.
They don't get the phone calls in the middle of the night and say, what did you do?
So East is going to talk it over here. 4th and less than a yard.
The other privilege the fans have, Ken, is they can change their mind and say you shouldn't have done it after they call a play. I think with a big back like Schiavo, though, you have to go for it, Ken. It's a shame that Southern has to have 2 key injuries to their starting backfield and place them with such restrictions on their offense.
By the way, we talked about the excellent shape this field is in. I wanted to mention last week for the Times River South, Times River North game that the South crew did quite a job with help from North and East. And we wanted to congratulate Bob Hempel of the Indians ground crew for the job they do down at Times River South. Didn't get a chance to mention that last week. Here's Schiavo. Schiavo dives forward. I think he's got the first down, Bob.
Yeah, he's got the first down. He not only dove for it, before he hit the ground, he extended his arms and put the ball out there to make sure he had that first down.
They're going to mark it around the 8-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Schiavo picks up the very important first down. And the Raiders are looking to put another touchdown on here and maybe clinch this ball game. 10 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Raiders on the move for a touchdown. Slevin to the 5-yard line.
Southern went into its goal line defense a couple of plays ago, and all they're doing now is instead of attacking over the guards, they're attacking between the guard and tackle, or they're attacking what would be the bubble of the Alabama goal line defense.
Robinson and Glynn trip up Slevin, ball right on the 5. 2nd and goal for Toms River East. And they're eating up that clock too on this drive.
This has been a best sustained drive by East all afternoon.
Ends are tight. Wing is in motion. Chiarella. Straight ahead goes Slevin. Bounces off one tackler, and he gets down to about the 2. Tilton finally made the stop.
Great second effort by Slevin. He was men on the line of scrimmage and stopped, but he broke it outside and put that ball down by the 2-yard line.
Blackwell and Piero came up and stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No hole. Slevin just turned it off and went to the outside and managed to pick up some yardage.
Even with 2 defenders out, Ken, this Southern ball club gives ground very grudgingly.
Southern certainly is not giving up, even though they've been demoralized by the loss of 2 outstanding linebackers. They are hanging tough. Third down.
I think you may see Schiavo.
Fake the Slevin. Schiavo stop. No gain. Excellent hitting there by Southern Regional's defense, Tilton and Glynn. And the Rams are really hanging tough right now.
Coach Jeck tried to fake the first back through Slevin and give to Schiavo, but Schiavo, there was too much penetration out of that goal line defense, and Schiavo wasn't able to get up ahead of steam.
Tony Sermarini racing into that defensive huddle. The defensive coordinator for Ron Emmert. There's the clock, 8:41 left to play in this ball game.
Even with the way the East line seems to have dominated the ball game, the score is still 7-0. If East gets in the end zone here, this is they can break the game open. If they don't, we see Southern pick up momentum.
And I believe we're going to see a field goal this time. Once again, that field goal unit going on the field. And there's Verderosa kneeling at the 15-yard line. He's right on the 15, putting on his kicking shoe. And I think they're going to go for it this time.
I got to agree with Coach Jeck here. Anytime you have 4th and 2 down here, that's your basic rule. If it's 4th and less than 2, you go for it. If it's more than 2, you kick the field goal.
So, earlier we saw the East team late in the 3rd quarter sent on their kicking unit, but that was a long one of over 40 yards, and they decided not to do it. This time, Yajacaj's going to hold. The ball's going to be marked at the 10.
Yeah, the ball's going to be at a little bit of an angle.
20-yard kick. Gets a good snap and hold.
Looks wide.
Wide to the left. No good. Good snap, good hold. Kick was wide to the left.
The ball was at just a little bit of an angle because it was on a hash mark, and Verderosa kicked at it straight away. Had plenty of distance, plenty of height, but the ball was wide of the post. It went straight.
So the Southern defense rose to the occasion And now Southern's still in this ball game.
I was watching Verderosa line up that time, and whenever you kick at an angle, you should always square your shoulders to the post. And he seemed to line up straight on a kick, and that's the way the ball went, was straight.
We have an officials timeout. They're exchanging footballs.
Well, we'll see now, Ken. This is a veteran Southern team. They've got their backs to the wall. We're in the last quarter of the game. They'll have the wind at their back. And we'll see now if they're able to come back and score and get back in this game. Coach Emmert's going to have to put out all the stops now, Kenny.
Seddon to throw the quick out to his flanker, Ferenga. Good coverage and pursuit over there. Scott makes the tackle for East. Chiarella was there. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Without those two big, almost 200-pound running backs, Emmert's probably going to have to stay more with his air game here. What hurts you, Ken, is not only don't you have those running backs to run, but they're like having 2 more guards back there to protect your quarterback.
8 minutes left in this game. Here comes McMahon, and up to meet him was Chevrier, the outstanding left side linebacker.
Excellent job by Chevrier, the open field tackle.
Bob Chevrier, 5'8", 165-pound senior, wears number 34, the left outside linebacker.
You can see Coach Jeck here, Ken. He's under a lot of pressure because even though they control the game for most of it, the score is still only 7-0.
Seddon looking to the left, runs, avoids Schiavo, keeps it, and is going to be down just short of the first down, right in front of the Ram bench.
It's going to be interesting here to see if Coach Emmert elects to try and get the first down with about less than 1 yard with 6 minutes to go in the game, or if he elects to kick it away. I think if I were him, you really have to think seriously about going for it here, because the way East has been running the ball, they could very well control it for the rest of the game if you kick away to them.
6:53 left in this ball game, 4th and 1 for Southern Regional.
Well, Southern's taking its time. It's a big play for them. Got 4th and about a foot, Ken.
Well, we're having a problem with the officials over there by the yard marker. 3 officials were over there.
What a difference. Emmert must be thinking, oh, to have John Mouthy or Chris Mazulowski now.
Here we go. 4th and less than a yard for Ron Emmert's crew. The ball at the 29-yard line.
You may see Seddon himself keep the ball here and try and get that foot.
Split backfield. McMahon in motion. Seddon, quarterback sneak.
I don't think he got
it. The Raiders have held. No forward motion at all by Southern Regional. And Tom's over East, with the middle of their line, stacks up the quarterback sneak.
Coach Jack put his team into a gap control. He had 3 down linemen across the front, and they got great penetration, and Seddon wasn't able to run a sneak.
So Tom's over East gets the football at the Southern Regional 29-yard line. 6:28 left, the clock is running down.
You have to admire Southern Regional, Ken, and Coach Emmert. He knew what he had to do to win the ball game. He had to take that chance there, and without his 2 big backs, he had to go with his quarterback.
And the call is to Slevin, straight up ahead.
Southern,
up a couple yards.
The Southern kids that are in there are still hitting hard. They haven't given up. They want to jar that ball loose. They want one more crack at it.
Friol tripped up Slevin. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 for Tom's over East. What a game. And you got to really say something about this East defense. This is 2 games now they played Southern Regional, and they managed to control that offense. Here's a slip by Chiarella as he cut. He went down, cutting inside. Tackled by number 71, Blake Keenan.
we have to say something about the offensive line from East, Kenny. It's Terry Morris and Jim Verderosa at the tackles have done an outstanding job. Martin, Schultz, and Seigler have also been outstanding in their blocking. They have really been a story. Southern hasn't gotten the ball anywhere near as many times it would like to this game.
Terry Morris, a 5'11", 230-pound senior. Jim Verderosa, 6'1", 230. He's a senior. Jim Martin, 5'11", 190, a senior. And Chuck Seigler, 5'10", 215, a senior. And Chris Schultz is a senior center, 6 foot 190. Here's a little mix-up on a snap.
I think the penalty is going to be against East. The Southern kids seem to be clapping. Somebody from East must have moved.
Illegal procedure against the Raiders, 5-yard penalty. 3rd and 12 for Toms River East.
I can't help putting myself at this point in Coach Jeck's position. You got a 7-point lead. You'd like to get more to ensure the game, but by the same token, you're hesitant on trying that big play because an interception by Southern puts them right in the game.
Valente split to the left, Chiarella in the slot.
Here's the play
Scott
fake.
looking to throw long.
He's got him open.
And Valente's behind a man. Touchdown. Bob Valente to split end. Beautiful throw by Joe Scott. And that should wrap up this ball game with 4 minutes, 28 seconds left. Toms River East tacks on their 2nd touchdown of the day.
Excellent pass. Excellent pass by Joe Scott. Valente just took off and broke the post pattern. Here we have the replay coming up. You can see the play fake. Scott steps back, puts the ball out there into the wind, but he gets it out there with plenty of time, and Valente makes a diving catch, a spectacular catch in the end zone.
Bob, we got to figure out the distance on that touchdown.
I'm making it about 35 yards, Ken, 35, 40 yards. It's at least 40 yards, Ken.
Now, the extra point will be attempted by Alan Gerber, who does the kicking off. Chiarella is going to hold. Left-footed kicker. Blocked by Tilton. Tilton in frustration just punches the ball all the way over to the sideline. So East leads 13-0, and that most likely is going to do it here today. We'll be right back. Out to Valente, 31 yards. And the cheerleaders tossing up some miniature footballs here. Give the crowd a little gift. McMahon on the return. McMahon to about the 26-yard line.
Ken, that touchdown pass by Scott was a shot in the arm for East, and it was like hitting Southern Regional over the head with an axe. The kids have hung in the game tough all the while, losing 2 stars for them all season long. That they've played a really tough physical game, but they know now that it's going to be very tough to come from behind, down 2 touchdowns without their 2 starting backs.
Seddon has to throw. McKelvey putting the heat on, and he dumps it off to number 32, Mike Kazuba. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. And here's a shotgun. Seddon throws to the left. He's got Tilton. 1st down for Southern Regional. Gearity on the stop.
Toms River East is in a prevent defense. They only rushed 4 people that time, kept 7 people back. They're willing to give up those little passes now because they keep the clock moving, and they just don't want to give up the big play with 3 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the game.
Rams stay in the shotgun. Seddon getting time. He's going
Here's
long.
one out. He's
Blackwell. Incomplete. Chiarella and Scott covering for Toms River East. Clock stops, 3:26 left to play.
Seddon threw that ball about 45 yards in the air, and Blackwell was just about 1 step off it. If Blackwell had it, we could have gotten a touchdown and been back in the game in a hurry. We have a replay coming up. The Rams line up in the shotgun, which gives Seddon time to see all his receivers. He steps up, delivers a pass, and you can see it was just off Blackwell's fingertips.
Glynn to the near side. Fake to the back. Seddon rolling.
He's going to keep it.
He's got a lot of room. First down for Southern Regional. Chasing him out was number 38, Tony Infante.
It was a very heady play by Seddon. He probably could have picked up a few more yards by cutting up field, but it was more important that he stopped the clock right then and get that first down. We can't say too much about Toms River East, can we, Ken? They came into this game cocky, confident that they had beaten Southern before and they could do it again. They felt that they were more physical and they could out-hit them, and they played an outstanding game.
And nobody picked East to win today.
No, everybody figured Southern would reverse it.
Seddon gets time, and he's going for Tilton.
Got him.
And Tilton makes an excellent catch with Scott right there with him. Diving catch by John Tilton. He may be shaken up as he's down about the 17-yard line. He's going to go off. Now he's lining up. He's going to stay in. He's hurt, but he's staying in.
Yeah, they want to stop that clock. They'll try one more pass play. If nobody's open, they'll throw the ball out of bounds here to kill the clock.
3 minutes and 10 seconds. Seddon runs it. And a good open field tackle by number 34, Bob Chevrier.
That was not a good move by Seddon. He's got 3:18 or so to go in the game. Now it's less than 3 minutes, and the clock keeps the clock running. He should have just thrown the ball out of bounds.
2nd and 10. Now they call timeout, Southern Regional.
See, that's a timeout that didn't have to be called, Ken.
Ron Emmert coming on the field. See how Tilton is. Tilton is hurting.
This has been a very, very hard-fought contest and a very physical game.
Ed Sarluca's got to be really proud of his defensive unit. He's in the huddle right now as they have played tough against the Brick Green Dragons and twice here against Southern Regional. And of course, Sarluca had been the defensive coordinator up at Toms River North and helped mold that defense that won a state championship for Bob Fiacco 2 years ago.
It's a tremendous tribute to the Raiders of East that here they are, and it's just their 3rd year, and they can shut out a team as capable and as talented as Southern Regional, and here they are, find themselves in the state finals.
So we will be doing the championship game wherever it may be. We will not know until at least probably the Monday before the game, but it'll be 2 weeks away. And of course, next week Brick will play their first round game against the winner of today's Vineland-Millville game. And of course, there's a lot of talk about maybe going to Giant Stadium, Bob.
It would be nice. We get to sit in those nice soft seats where there's a little bit of heat.
We worked there 2 years ago in the CBS booth, and it was really comfortable. We really love to go again. And of course, it'll be Brick's decision if they should win their first round game as a top-seeded team.
That's a thrilling position to be in, to put those kids on that artificial turf where they see all their favorite pro players play every Sunday.
Here comes Southern now, 2nd and 10. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in this ball game.
You can see some confusion in the Southern backfield.
Seddon fakes. Pressure's on. He's trying to set a screen up to Kazuba. The tackle's made by
number 73, Tony Piero.
Dominic Giordano made the stop. Now we have a flare up here that I missed, Bob. Back near midfield, they're pulling Glynn away. And the East fans are booing. I didn't see what happened, Bob.
I didn't either, Ken. I think they're a little upset that Seddon got hit after the screen, and there's been some words exchanged. And the ball is coming all the way upfield here.
Ronnie Emmert is on the field telling the official
I don't see
his
any flags.
version.
I don't see any flags, Ken. I think we just had some heated discussion take place.
Tony Sermarini is really mad across the way. He took his ski cap off and threw it down. Tony Sermarini is still screaming at the official. 3rd and long yardage for Southern Regional. Seddon pump fakes. Throws the short pass, dropped by McMahon. Stops the clock with 2:25 left in the ball game.
I'm sure the Southern coaches are going to come back in a huddle, and they're going to say that they had 2 receivers open deep with only 1 defender there. And probably see Southern throw the ball deep here. On 4th and about 20, Ken, I have to wonder why you're throwing the ball short. On 3rd and 20.
Well, Southern felt going into the first game with East, they were the better team. They still felt that way, that they would win the rematch. They've had a second chance at it and having a tough time today. Down goes Seddon. Pressure put on by Slevin, number 28, and Seigler. Now that's Schultz, number 56 in there. Flag on a play against Toms River East. Is that a personal foul, Bob?
I think it may be, Ken.
2:21 left in this game. Maybe a pushing foul. Let's see what it...
It's a big penalty. It's going to give Southern another chance at 4th down with only 5 yards or so to go.
We got a signal as if one of the players used his hands and pushed under somebody's helmet.
The illegal forearm, I think, is what they're calling.
Southern has a 4th and 4.
On defense, those penalties are tough to understand, though.
Rams trying to get on the scoreboard. Seddon has plenty of time. Intercepted by Scott. Drop.
Scott very wisely dropped that.
Realized that he'd be better off, I guess, dropping the football.
Well, I think he's realized that there was 4th down, and if he had taken it there, they've gotten the ball on the 20 as it is. They're going to get the ball on about the 11 or 12. So it really isn't going to be much difference. East is probably just going to run that clock out now. There's only 2 minutes, and they can pretty much kill the clock. Again, I regret seeing that Southern Regional was not able to have its 2 top running backs. John Mouthy never got to carry the ball, and Zulewski got hurt early in the 3rd quarter. That's like losing 2 offensive guards as well as 2 great running backs. Plus, it's like 2 starting defensive linebackers.
Has to be frustrating for Southern Regional.
They've been so close so many times and never able to go all the way.
Straight ahead.
They're still hitting hard.
Of course, the last time Southern went to the playoffs was when they had their great team led by Steve Smead and company. I believe that was 1975, and they had the misfortune of drawing Sterling, which had a super powerhouse team, undefeated, and they scored on the first play of the game. I think it was the opening kickoff, and it was a runaway from there.
Yep, Southern's been such a good ball club through the years. Their 1-loss record over the last 10 years has got to be almost as good as anybody's in the shore, but they've never been able to go all the way.
1:32 left as the clock is stopped on a timeout. George Jeck, big smile on his face as he goes on the field. Ed Sarluca looking up here at the spotters. He's got a big smile.
Again, Kenny, while we got a timeout, the 2 scores came. The first score came at in the first quarter at 5:45.
Oh, these coaches going through the booth here, Bob. Excuse me, with the big smiles here.
I can't blame them. They've worked very hard and they deserve this victory today.
Mike Conlon says it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Little takeoff on the NBA a couple of years ago. That was the motto of the Washington Bullets.
Yogi Berra used to say it ain't over till it's over in baseball. But I think this one's pretty safely tucked away. There's 1:32 in the game. The scoring came in the first quarter on a 17-yard pass play to Chirella from Scott, and in the 3rd quarter on a 31-yard pass play to Valente. Again, Scott making an excellent completion. Score is 13-0 here. Got to start thinking MVP, Kenny.
I think we've agreed earlier who the MVP is going to be. We'll announce it in a moment. Rams stack up the play. The most outstanding player of the game is going to be quarterback Joe Scott.
Yeah, Scott made 2 excellent pass plays. We also had a good game out of Chris Schiavo, but it was Scott's plays that lifted up the East team and really put some spark in them. Toms River East is in no hurry to come out of the huddle. They don't care if they even take a delay of game here because it's now under 1 minute. And they're going to take as long as they can. They've worked very hard for this victory today. Before we say goodbye, though, we should say again that Southern Regional has nothing to be ashamed of. They've had a great year. They've worked very hard. And unfortunately, they had a couple of injuries to keep people early in the game, which severely limited their offensive capabilities.
Bob, I'm going to let you head down if you want and grab Mr. Scott.
Okay, Ken, I'll be seeing you on the field.
All right. Joe Scott is our most outstanding player, the junior quarterback of Toms River East. 45 seconds left. Scott is trapped. He's going to go down for safety. Trapped in the end zone by Robinson and Gennady. And that's going to cost East the shutout as Southern gets 2 points on the safety. And East will have to kick the ball from the 20-yard line. 40 seconds left in the game. Southern finally gets on the scoreboard. And the defense does it for him. Now they have a choice of either using the tee or punting the ball, and they'll use the tee. It'll be Gerber kicking off for the Raiders. This is a free kick for Toms River East. Don't forget to be with us next week for the Toms River East Brick Memorial game. You folks in the Northern Division will see it Sunday night, and Lacey Township on South will see it Monday night. Here's McMahon returning the kick, and he's stacked up at the 39-yard line. 34 seconds left in the game. Let me remind you, for letterheads, envelopes, posters, flyers, business forms, invitations, and all your printing needs, don't forget the Office Copy Center Printing Company of Toms River, the home of the one-day business card. Call 349-4611. That's 349-4611. Shotgun once again by Southern. Seddon runs out of the pocket, trying to get to the sideline and stop the clock. He doesn't make it. Chevrier tackled him and refused to let him get to that sideline. Clock running, 20 seconds. Now they call timeout to stop that clock. We will be with you for Toms River East championship game in 2 weeks, wherever that game may be played. The Raiders go to the South Jersey Group 4 Championship in only their 3rd year of football. Quite a tribute to not only the players but the great coaching staff here at Toms River East to accomplish this in their 3rd year.
Next Saturday, 11 a.m. here against Brick Memorial.
Ron Emmert directing an obvious long pass pattern here with 20 seconds to go in that huddle. And we're ready to go. Here's Seddon. Pressure's on Seddon, and he dumps it off to Kazuba. He's got a wide open field and picks up the first down. Chevrier stops him. 9 seconds, clock running. That may be it. Southern trying to get a play off very quickly here. Now they'll stop the clock to move the yard markers, and then they'll resume play. Clock now running. 7 seconds. Seddon throwing long. Blackwell incomplete. 1 second left. 1 second left. 1 second on the clock. Chance for one more play here.
Defended by Tirella and Scott. Clear Cable TV has announced its player of the game. Number 8, Joe Scott.
Rams will have one more chance to try to make the score a little closer. 13-2. Toms River East in the lead. This is the final play of the ball game. Clock shows nothing left. Seddon looking long. Blackwell batted down by Scott. That's the end of the ball game. Tom's River East goes to the championship game of South Jersey Group 4, where they will play either Brick, Vineland, or Millville. The fourth quarter today, of course, Tom's River East is going to go play for the championship in 2 weeks. Of course, they have one more game in between. We'll be here next Saturday for the Brick Memorial game. And our player of the game was quarterback Joe Scott, the junior, who threw the 2 touchdown passes, almost had a third one that the wind came in and played a factor on. But Joe, congratulations. There's your plaque. You're welcome. Joe, come on up here and tell me a little bit about how you feel right now.
It's the best feeling I've had in all my life, going to play for the state championship game. When we started in August, I never thought we'd come this far, but we got a good team. Our offensive line's good. We blend. We all blend. We play as a team. We like each other a lot.
Tell me about those 2 touchdown passes and the patterns your receivers ran.
What was the first one?
You remember?
Who was the first one too? Chirella.
Yeah.
A special play we put in for this week, because when we send a guy in motion, their defense shifts to the motion side, and it's one-on-one. Sal on, I think it was Seddon or Blackwell, and I don't think Seddon could stay with him, and he beat his outside shoulder, and I was just supposed to lob it really quick, and it got there, and Sal made a nice catch for the touchdown. And then the last one was a double hook and go, another play we put in for the week. Bob Valente just comes in like he's going to do a hook. I pumped to him, and he just keeps on going down the seam, and that's a great catch. That was a nice catch he made on that play.
Joe, did you, any of the guys discuss the fact that most of the so-called experts, all the predictions in the paper, were saying that you couldn't beat them a second time this year?
Well, I looked at it. I didn't know what they were basing their predictions on or anything, but I looked at the paper and the Observer. Every paper picks except for one guy, Joe Zadow's, and he had the best record, best percentage out of all the pickers, and he picked it right today, because I think he knew how good we were. He's the only one that knows how good we were. We're kind of an unknown, you know. It's our third year. Nobody thinks we're as good as we really are. What
was it like getting ready for this game as far as trying to keep it from reaching a peak too soon in practice this week?
I guess it was hard for the coaches, but for us, we were ready to play. We didn't peak too early. Beginning of the week, we had good practices, and the end of the week, that's when we started to start getting ready for the game, start getting psyched.
I have another question, but Bob has one he wants to ask Joe.
Yeah, Joe, I noticed in the pregame warm-ups that your team appeared to be cocky confident. You seemed really ready, but it seemed like you had no doubt at all that you'd beaten them before and you were going to beat them again today.
Well, I think that's just the way we are, you know. We don't really show our emotions, you know, and show how intense we are and everything. We just play, you know. We're not really a loud group. We know when we're ready inside, and we mix. We just mix together, you know. We knew we're a better football team than we knew that. We showed it the first game. The first time they shouldn't have scored. Then the second time they didn't. That was the first game a flag let them score.
This defensive unit, they did the job the last time against Southern. They shut their offense down. They did it again today, although, you know, Southern, we mentioned, was hurting. They lost Mouthy early in the game. Then they lost Modulowski, which was due to the fact your kids were hitting hard. And I got to get your comments, because you hung tough against Brick. All the big games, this defensive crew has really done a job.
Thank you, Ken. Basically, our game plan defensively was to, again, shut down their running game and then compensate for their passing attack, and that's exactly the way it worked out. We made a few personnel changes. If you noticed, we had Verdi out of there and put a Slevin in at defensive end, which gave us a lot of outside heat. And Chris Schiavo played a super game. I think that hit down there when he hit Glynn, that was the ball game right there. I feel that was the turning point of the game. They were going in to score, and the kid had the ball in the hand, and Chris hit him in the ribs, and nice clean hit, and that turned the ball game around, we felt.
Bob, since you've been there, you played in the championship game when you beat Heightstown 75. Any words of wisdom for this coaching staff that's going into their first South Jersey Group 4 championship game?
All I can tell you is keep doing what you've done all year long. Keep them ready, and if you don't let them score, you got to win.
There wasn't much defense in that ball game up there, was there?
We're talking about a 46-44 game, and certainly it was expected to be a defensive game. Didn't work out that way. I got to ask you now if you have any preferences on who you want to play. Do you want a rematch with the Brick Green Dragons? Is that what you're hoping
Yes,
for?
we would. We would like to play Brick. We want 2 Ocean County teams in there. Hopefully, we'd like to play them at the Meadowlands if everybody okays it. We've heard that there is talk about that. And if we're lucky enough to win it, it's an Ocean County team. If they win it, it's still an Ocean County team. We like to keep it in Ocean County.
Where's the party tonight?
Oh, we're going to start at a couple of places and end up somewhere else. And you're invited.
Okay. Ed, nice job to all you
job.
guys here at Tongarees.
Bob, thank you.